So you go on the first date. Let's say you have a good time. You guys are out. You do not let him know where you live. No. You get back in your car. You say goodbye at the car, whether you kiss or not. I don't care. Whatever you choose to do, whatever you're comfortable with at that moment. You get in your car, or you stop at someone's car if you get somebody picked up. That way he doesn't know that you do not have a ride, and you say goodnight. And I'm really being this completely honest with you because you need to be prepared. You do not need to be in a situation where someone could slip you something. You're making sure that you're getting your own drinks. If you didn't see it get there, you do not put it to your mouth. You know, I've had people say they bring their own beverage with them. Whatever you need to do, you know, God always tells us what to do. And so you have to be paying attention to what God tells you to do to make sure that if this person is someone that can hurt me, I'm not in an environment where they can hurt me. Okay? Then you're looking for someone, when you're dealing with people online, you have to be paying attention to how committed they are to the situation, and are they dependable? Are they consistent with who they are? Okay? If you go out the first date and they're one person, you go to the third date, they're another person, that's a red flag. And you're just dating. You're getting to know a friend, in essence, until they're qualified as someone that you want to spend more time with. And this is very important when you're dealing with someone across the country, because you don't get access to their friends, which is going to tell you who they are in ways they cannot explain, because people, you are who you associate with. So you don't get the chance to see their friends. You don't get a chance to see their family. How does the family think about them? Do they think good of him, or they roll their eyes saying, okay, this is just another somebody he has coming over to dinner? Because sometimes we feel like, well, if I get introduced to the parents, or I get to introduce to the family, okay, this is a serious person. Men, there's a game for everything, okay? And they'll take you over. They've had 15,000 women over at Sunday dinner, and you're thinking this is a big thing. It is not a big thing. You got to pay attention to those type of things, okay? And after, I would say about 2 months, you have seen each other a couple times. You're talking on the phone. If you're long distance, it might even take a little longer, because now you need to be able to be in that person's presence for a couple of days, and he does not need to just necessarily come to your city or you go to his. Let's say, for example, and I'm just going to sidetrack for a moment, because let's say you're in a situation where my friend, where they're on East Coast, West Coast, okay? Your first meeting, you guys need to be meeting in the middle. And if you really are invested in, this is a person I feel connected with, I've had good conversations with them, we've talked about background, different things like that, do not get background checks on people, okay? Don't do that. Don't get background checks on people. But I feel a connection, you need to meet in that. Once you have a connection with that person, now it's time for you to really start to get to know each other on a more intimate level. If you're in a distant relationship with that person, then you're going to come to, one place, and now you've spent 4 or 5 months with a person, getting to know them. And for all of you that are saying, well, that Christina's a long time, well, find someone that you really connect with. Is a precious thing, and you want to, if you're doing online dating, you want to give yourself time to kind of ease into it, okay? Because statistically, after 6 months of being around someone, you start to become your true self. That's a statistic. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And then, now you're easing in. Now you need to be in their environment. Now, all this time you've been kind of meeting in the middle. So now you're spending time where he lives, and he's spending time where you live. If you're in long distance, if you are just meeting locally, you're spending time with family and friends. You're spending time paying attention to them, and you always, and this is not just for online dating, this is for everybody, okay? When you're dating, you always keep your eyes open. Pay attention to red flags, things that don't feel right, things that don't look like. A lot of times, I'm not speaking for women because I am a woman and I hang around with a lot of women. We make excuses. We make excuses for why things are happening that way. And sometimes you need to just be honest, what's going on, not be jealous and not fly off the handle, but just in a very common, matter-of-fact way, say, listen, what is this about? Did you consider this? Or I was thinking, and put it out there. And test the spirit by the spirit, which means that you ask a question, and the response they get, the first response they get, is the one you pay attention to. Because you want to be safe. And then after about 7 or 8 months or whatever, now you're into the real person, and if you guys are really into it, then you can make decisions based on where you are. If you're long distance, you make a decision where we're going to live, and different things like that. We're just talking about online dating right now. It absolutely can happen for you, okay? You can go on a website and find someone that you are connecting with, but you still have to go through the process. And this is the thing, and I'll close out with this, because sometimes we in a dating system, we don't like to date. We don't like to deal with the process of discovery, okay? We want to jump right to the end. I just want to know this is my husband, and just that. And even if you have a connection with someone, on the first and second date doesn't mean you're going to be able to be compatible enough to be in a marriage. So this is the thing. God created our lives to be a discovery process, as it were. He created our lives to be a process through which we come to his conclusion, okay? And you can only do that through experience. Now, that sounds harsh, but the thing about this, in Genesis, God says to himself, he's having a conversation with himself, and he says, you know what, it's not good for man to be alone. I'm going to create someone that's suitable for him. And he brings him a couple of animals. God didn't bring Adam a woman right away. He gave him a couple of animals. Why? Because God didn't know that that was the right mate? No. He needed Adam to come to God's conclusion. He needed Adam to come to the godly conclusion, which is, I really need someone that's really like me. And just having someone around is not enough. Okay? And so unless you really have a clear understanding of what you want. Now, you think you know what you want until you've experienced it. And that's what a date is. You get a chance to experience different people, different personalities. And after you've done that, you should have a good understanding of what it is you're really looking for. Okay? And for people that are in their 30s and their 40s, you pretty much know what you want. I mean, I'm not going to say that you really need to be out there dating for the sake of finding out who you want. You really need to be dating to make sure, you know, that you are being realistic sometimes, that you're not flying off the handle, all kind of different things, because maintaining a relationship really is a discipline. You have to be on your game so that you don't ruin a potentially loving relationship. Okay? And so when you're dealing with online dating, you have to allow yourself a process. Now, some of you have been dating, you feel like you're frustrated. Maybe it's because you're not pre-qualifying the people, you're just going out with anybody, okay? You want to go out with somebody that you really feel you could have something with. But it might take a couple times. Don't get frustrated, you know. Make sure that you're making yourself findable. Make sure that, and that's why the online dating is so wonderful, because if you are very consumed in what you're doing, you don't have a lot of time to circulate and be around people, to meet people, this is a great way to do that. But you do have to go through the process. You're not saving any time by going online, and eHarmony is going to just magically put me with someone. And, you know, that's fairy tales. We don't teach that. We teach you really what real life is. And if you want to be happily married, you want to be disciplined in going through different transitions, different stages of relationship. Got that?